So I just learned from the National Institute of Health that the 3 most frequently experienced positive emotions are joy, 35% of the time, followed by love, 30% of the time, and then followed by satisfaction. That was 27% of the time. And then in terms of negative emotions, the most frequently experienced emotion you probably can guess is anxiety. That was 29% of the time. And then that was followed by sadness, 20% of the time. And then this third emotion, I was a little surprised by, was disgust, 11% of the time. And then in terms of mixed emotions, in terms of a positive emotion and a negative emotion, the most frequently experienced co-emotions were anxiety and love. Go figure. That's probably not all that surprising either. So why am I sharing this with you? Because one of the most important things that I've ever learned, hands down, is that I have the ability to create my emotions. And in fact, I do create them. I create all of them. And so do you. And when you know this, you are no longer a victim to your circumstances. And I'll tell you that this idea goes against the classical view of emotions, that emotions are hardwired and that they are triggered by external events. We hear that all the time. Oh, she is so triggering. That situation just totally triggered me. But the truth is that our emotions are not triggered. They're not reactions to external events, but they are responses. They're internal responses that we can become familiar with and we can learn how to control if we want to. And I will say that there is so much really fun and interesting research about the theory of constructed emotion and all that goes into it. We can talk about your childhood and your upbringing and your experiences and so much information, very detailed. And if you want to dive into it, you can look on the internet, How Emotions Are Made. My very favorite book on this topic is by Dr. Lisa Barrett, and that's her book, How Emotions Are Made. And she talks about this theory of constructed emotions. And the most useful part of this in terms of understanding how we construct our emotions is that it does mean that we can then be a little bit more aware of them and think about them in a different way and perhaps use them. So I want to give you one way to start just understanding your emotions a little bit differently. And it's fairly simple. And what it is to notice what it is that you are actually feeling in your body when you have an emotion. And you might be thinking, that's it. But I cannot tell you how many people have said, I don't know. When I asked them, how did you know that you were upset? What does it feel like for you to be stressed? How were you feeling when you were overjoyed? And people are like, I'm not really sure. So it takes noticing and paying attention to what is going on in your body. And I mean, literally noticing the physical sensation that's in your body. So for example, if we're going to take that negative emotion, the anxiety emotion, the one that we all feel the most, think about it the next time that you are feeling anxious and go inside. What does that feel like in your body? Does it feel like a rapid heartbeat? Does it feel like a clenching of your jaw? I was just talking with somebody and they said that they were noticing all of this tension in their neck, and that when she started to pay attention to her anxiety, she realized that there was so much tension in her neck that her shoulders were up by her ears, and she recognized that that was stress and anxiety in her body. So begin to notice what that feels like in your body. And for sure, also begin to notice what love feels like. Notice what that feels like in your body. And if you're not sure, right now, close your eyes and think about someone that you love. Bring them to your mind's eye. Picture their face, their smile, and what you love about them, how you interact with them, how they bring joy to your life. Did you do it? Did you feel it? What does it feel like for you? I felt it. For me, I do have a little bit of a rapid heartbeat. I feel butterflies in my stomach. And then I also feel this kind of interesting tingling sensation. That's what love feels like to me. And in the value in being able to notice these feelings, these triggered feelings, is that as you get to know them, you get to notice, in fact, that your emotions are just physical sensations in your body. And I know that's a big just, but that's literally what they are. And physical sensations really, in the scheme of things, isn't really a big deal. But knowing what they are and knowing what they feel like to you is a big deal. Because if you are feeling a desire for food, if you are feeling a pull towards alcohol, if you are feeling like you just got to finish that one last email and you're able to notice it and you can feel that sensation in your body, then you can become aware of your thoughts and what is the trigger and what is going on instead of just being swept up by it. And the idea here isn't that you're going to have complete 100% control over your emotions, or you're going to become a robot and manage your emotions. But the idea is that you get to know yourself. You get to know yourself better. And when that is true, then you get to lead yourself better. You get to manage your mind and your emotions better. So the next time you are feeling something, please pause and notice it and see what it feels like in your body. And if it doesn't feel great, then breathe into it and notice it and be curious about it. And if it does feel great, notice it and sink into it. Be present to it and know that you created it and that you have control over your emotions and that you have control over what you are going to be triggered by. That is some really good news.